Today I woke up before 4 a.m. and I did meditation and studied English, so I'm very proud of myself for doing that, and I really want to keep these things going. And today I picked the topic about my daughter's education and the Korean letter studying. Studying. And there was something I wanted to say, but I forgot. I tend to say the same thing over and over again, especially when I'm trying to have a phone call English with foreign teachers or anybody in Korean, like the same English students, because we tend to it's easy to talk about our life pattern, routine, or family, and my thoughts. So sometimes I just feel like I am quite good at English because those are things that I repeatedly talk. Yeah. For example, my job and the reason I study English and the history of my studying English or something. So I think it's very good to set up a topic that is new, and try to say it in English. So yeah, today I decided to talk about my daughter's education, and I don't think I've ever tried to say this in English. Yeah, so I'm also very excited before I started. My eldest daughter is 7 years old now, and in Korea, most of the kids go to the kindergarten or nursery when they are just like 3, or even I've seen less than a year old babies go to nursery, and I think that is too early. But in general, the age of 3 or 4, at the age of 3 or 4, kids go to nursery in Korea because it doesn't cost. It almost doesn't cost at all because the government pay for them. Yeah. But I wanted to take care of my daughters at home as long as I can. So instead of sending them to the nursery, I took care of them at home. So I got the part of the money for the supporting money for parenting, and that was like 200,000 won for a baby or for a kid. And it was only this year that I sent them to the kindergarten that they started to go to the kindergarten. So it was quite late, but I was very satisfied with what I did. And yes, my eldest daughter went to the kindergarten at 7, and many of her friends can read the Korean letter at the age of around 5 or 6, at least, at most 6. So they could read books by themselves, but I still didn't teach my daughters Korean letters. But an interesting thing is she just learned by herself because the things that she learned first was her friend's name, because in her kindergarten there are a lot of name tags on their cabinet and their stuff. So my daughter could match their names and the letter. So in that way, she could learn by herself quite a lot. And she started to read some signal sign at the stores or at the street. And it was quite interesting and fun to see it, how she learned by herself. But at the moment, it's November, and soon, within 3 months, she will be go to the elementary schools, and it'll be better to master reading, at least reading the letter before she going to the elementary school. So I think it's time for me to start teaching her properly. So at first I thought a lot about buying books, and there are really a lot of books out there to about teaching Korean, and they all looked great. But I thought a lot, but I decided not to use a book, because I don't want her to feel like she has to do something. I want her to feel like it's just happening, just like she has been doing so far at the kindergarten. So I just bought a very big paper. I don't know how to say it in English, but I bought a very big paper with a Korean letter like Canada or something, and I put it on the wall, and I'm trying to read it together with her, a little by little, every day, consistently. And I ask her questions like, do you know where Nabi is or something? Then she looks for it and points out the right letter, and that way she is learning. Yep. And that's the way I've been doing so far. And it's so it doesn't feel real that she is going to enter the school already, because it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like the time hasn't gone that much after she was born. It feels like just yesterday that I had her when she was just born. I can vividly remember, but time flies, and she is going to school next year, and at least I feel great that with this pandemic thing, it's the system is going to kind of loosen than before. About last year, I think even the first grade students should have had to. First grade students would have had to just had to. Yeah, I got it. First grade students had to stay at home about twice a week or something, and they had to take the online class. And I think that's a terrible idea. And I know that there was no other way around back then, but still, they have to. It is good for them to be fit in the system. I'm not really sure about this, but anyway, taking too much online class was not that great. Didn't seem great. But at least nowadays, first grade and second grade students are guaranteed to go to school every day, I guess. And it's getting better and better, the conditions. So that is something I'm a little bit relaxed. And and I read a lot of postings on the internet, and I was very surprised to see how many moms are sending their kids to the academy to study English and math. And I thought just art, music, and PE and those things are good enough for them to learn because they are young. And as an adult, I know that studying is not the only answer in our life. So I think I will let my daughters I'll let my daughters play as much as they want, and I'm just going to show them how am I studying, because I believe that they can just learn by seeing what their parents are doing, not by listening to them. And I remember a funny story. The radio program 2 p.m. call to show, and there was a woman who complained about her kid. I don't know that is son or daughter, but she said, my kid never read, and she was very upset. And the host of the show asked, "Do you read?" Then the mom said, "No, but my kid is young, so they need to read a lot." And that I believe that's why the kid didn't read. And that way, what I want for my kid to do is just play and relax at home freely, and just make a good relationship within our family members, and learn by seeing what we are doing. So that means I have to be a good person. I need to be a good person. I believe that there is no way to make them be a good person unless I become a good person, because that's the only way they learn. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying so far. Yeah, but still, I could correct myself when I made mistakes, and I know that I would be making the same mistakes again and again, but at least I'm trying to correct myself, and I try to have as many chances as possible to speak in English, and I'm hoping that it would turn out to be helpful eventually. Thanks. Bye.